former NATO Supreme Allied Commander General Wesley Clark joins us now. General, great to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining us. A couple of times in President Trump's remarks today, he called it a short-term excursion and kept using the word short-term when he was addressing House Republicans. And I'm wondering, how realistic do you think that is, given what the situation is there right now, given that a new leader was just installed?
President Trump can call it off anytime he chooses to. And then it's up to the Iranians to determine if they want to keep it going. They've taken a lot of damage. I think there's been a lot of hits on their ballistic capability. We haven't solved the nuke problem yet. But clearly, we've set back their military a long, long way. We've done it with a lot of targets hit, only 3 U.S. aircraft lost. We've had 7 service members killed, and that's terrible. But there's no telling what losses the Iranians have had on this. So I think if President Trump calls it off, I think there'll be a sort of a cold, angry cessation of hostilities. But I do think that that'll get the global oil markets back to normal.
Okay. I mean, that would be a good thing, particularly to consumers out there dealing with high living prices overall. But at the same time, General, if we did pull out, what kind of situation do we leave behind? Did we accomplish? And I understand that there weren't necessarily clear goals set out to begin with, but have we defused the nuclear threat at all? Have we left Iran in better hands than we started with in terms of the supreme leader? I mean, what has been accomplished?
Well, I think what's concrete accomplishment is that we have set back their ballistic missile program. And their ballistic missile program was actually sufficient to really swamp the state of Israel. And after Israel had expended all of its interceptors and so forth, the Iranians, absent this, would have been able to continue to strike Israel with non-nuclear means. No, we haven't addressed the nuclear issue, and there's still the 650 kilograms of enriched uranium somewhere out there. And we got rid of the leadership and a lot of the top people, but they prepared for this for a long time, and so new leaders have stepped up. I suspect the son of the former Ayatollah Khamenei is going to be pretty angry, going to seek revenge in some way. But I think it'll be a very, very angry, cold peace for at least a few months while Iran licks its wounds, tries to figure out what goes next, and tries to rebuild its deterrent as it sees its deterrent.
General Clark, thank you for your service. When I look at this has been going on for my entire life. So when you pull back the lens, where you just left off there, does this make it easier for the USA to go in again 6 months from now if he backs off at this juncture? Or does this make it a tougher sell 6 months from now? I know we're dealing with politics with the midterms, but could this be a rinse and repeat now? Because they're only as dangerous, and they'll always be as dangerous as the current leader.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. I think if we really took out a lot of their air defense, whatever was left over, we can assume it's gone. So the Chinese or the Russians have to replace that. So that leaves them still vulnerable to a repeat of this. On the other hand, they're under no doubt right now that we would come after them again. So they'll try even harder to hang on to a nuclear program. And if they can get a nuclear device, if they can do a nuclear test, if they can have something that raises their deterrent, then I think they're going to have to go for it. Even, Ayatollah Khamenei was known for saying he didn't want a nuclear weapon. He knew if he got one, he'd be attacked. And now I think the reasoning would more likely be, let's look at the case of North Korea. Let's get as much as we can, as many as we can, so we won't be attacked again.